Hi everyone. In this video, we'll be looking into a game between Grandmaster Wesley and Grandmaster Arjun Erigaisi from the Division 1 placement round of Julius Baer Generation Cup. Let's jump right into the game. Wesley starting with the white pieces go for 1 e4. Arjun Erigaisi replies with e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, bishop to c4, bishop to c5, c3, knight to f6, d3, d6. Wesley goes for castling. Arjun also castling. Rook to e1, bishop to b6, bishop to g5, knight to e7, bishop takes on f6, g takes on f6, d4, c6, knight on b to d2, knight to g6, bishop to b3, king to h8, knight to c4, bishop to g4, knight to e3, bishop to e6, d5, bishop to c8, queen to d2, bishop takes on e3, f takes on e3, f5, e takes on f5, bishop takes on f5, e4, bishop to g4, d takes on c6, bishop takes on f3, c takes on b7, rook to b8, g takes on f3, f5, king to h1, rook takes on b7, e takes on f5, rook takes on f5, rook on a to d1, rook to f6, bishop to d5, rook to g7, rook to g1, queen to f8, c4, knight to f4, bishop to e4, knight to h3, rook takes on g7, queen takes on g7, queen to g2, queen to h6, b4, rook to f7. So if you look at this position, after 32 moves into the game, match is pretty much balanced. Wesley in this position is having 1 point of material up. So the right continuation for Wesley is to play queen to d2 and put pressure on that d6 pawn. But instead he will make a one more mistake by playing c5. And after this move, Arjun Erigaisi is having a winning advantage of minus 3.9. And I want you to pause this video for a moment and try to figure out the winning move for Arjun Erigaisi. Kudos if you are able to figure out the winning move for Arjun Erigaisi, and it begins with rook to g7. If you have noticed, once the queen moves, knight and rook have ideas of coming to g1 and checkmating the king. So Wesley tries to defend it by playing queen to f1, queen to h4, rook to d2, rook to g1 with check, queen takes on g1, knight takes on g1. Wesley cannot recapture this knight with the king. If he did that, then Arjun will continue with queen to e1 with check, and once the king moves, queen takes on rook 2, and the game is over. At this point, Wesley will be 5 points of material down, and there is no point of continuing the game. Wesley was smart enough to not fall into this trap of Arjun Erigaisi, and he continues with rook to d1, knight to h3, c6, knight to f2 with check, forking the king and the rook. King moves to g2, and knight takes on d1, c7. Wesley is desperately trying to push his c-pawn and try to make into a queen, but there is no time for promotion here because Arjun Erigaisi has already pulled out a mating net in this position. And I want you to pause this video for a moment and try to find out the mate in 2 for Arjun Erigaisi in this position. Kudos if you are able to figure out the mate in 2 for black, and it begins with knight to e3 with check. And it was in this position after 40 moves into the game, Wesley resigned to Arjun Erigaisi. Arjun Erigaisi ended up winning the match with Wesley 3-1, and he advances to the Division 1 of Julius Baer Generation Cup. The continuation here is once the king moves to g1, then the queen will deliver the checkmate by playing queen to e1 checkmate. So for saying this, Wesley has resigned to Arjun Erigaisi.